the first time I played at the Well Hall was, I remember, 6 years ago. And there was a guy here who told me before I started he didn't want to offend me. He said, "Hey, I want to let you know that don't be offended if I don't clap after you're done." And I said, "Okay, well, that's cool. That's fine." And he said, "Well, I'm just going to whoosh you." I said, "What does that mean?" He said, "Well, when you're done singing, I'm just going to whoosh you. I'm going to pass the energy to you. Because if I clap, that's wasting the energy. So I'd rather just whoosh you." And so he whooshed me after every song I'd get done, and I'd look over and he would just pass the energy to me, and silently, of course, no clapping. So I was here. I for some reason I was thinking it was in Ashland last night, but it wasn't. I remember when we drove up, I was like, no, the whoosher was from the Wow Hall. So that's my
the Wow Hall whoosher.
The Wow Hall whoosher.
The first music I ever saw here, I was visiting friends in 1996, and I saw Zero and I think Skank and Pickle, this ska band out of Santa Cruz. So I've always heard and admired. Some older friends of mine were friends with the band, and I finally, I came up here in '96 looking at U of O because I couldn't get into UC Santa Cruz. I missed the deadline, and man, not only at the Wow Hall, but everywhere here in town, I never saw so much good music in such a short period of time. I'm like, Eugene's a killer place. So
I think it was back in '06. Living Color played the Wow Hall. And I remember, Living Color was really big back in the late 80s, early 90s. So they came out on stage, and this was on a reunion tour. And they came out on stage, and there wasn't very many people in the hall that night. It was probably maybe 40, 50 people, and they were used to playing, some pretty big crowds. And so when they came out, you could almost see on their face like, wow, there's not very many people here. And then the one distinct thing I remember is that Corey Glover, the lead singer, and Vernon Reid, the guitarist, were really high. I mean, they couldn't even open their eyes. They were so high. But you know what is funny is I was like, oh, this concert's going to be horrible. But it was one of the best small shows I'd ever seen. And Will Calhoun, the drummer, played a drum solo that was the best live drumming I've ever seen in my life. And it was here at the Wow Hall. It blew me away.
I was about 16, in my youth, in my prime, with an identity crisis. Y'all can relate. It was the 90s. Nirvana was done. Kurt was dead. And but I had this long, lovely hair like I have now. Well, I came to a Goldfinger show, and, it was hot. It was steamy. I was crowd surfing. And the hair was killing me. It was all over the place. It was getting tangled up. It was getting pulled on.
Show is this Saturday.
People's boots were getting tangled up in my hair, pulling it out. And that's when I decided, I gotta cut this mop. Next day, shaved my head, went punk rock, never looked back.
Go to the Wall Hall. It's fun. It's blazing.
One time I went to a midnight show at the Wow Hall, and I met Vaughn Benjamin, the lead singer, and I traded him 5 prints for 5 CDs. And he asked me if one day I would design an album cover for him, or whether he could use my art for an album cover. And I didn't know whether he actually would or not, but as it turned out, after much meditation, I drew this drawing here while I was meditating on his music. And then now this is the CD album cover for Sons of Adam. And, I had a really personal connection with my favorite band. So, thanks, Wow Hall.
In my past, I was a member of the Ho-Dads, like in the early 70s, and we matched the Wallathon Wallathon thing by what we gave him about $12,000, so that made it like $24,000. It essentially saved the Wow Hall, and we felt really good about that. And we always had our journal meetings at the Wow Hall, and it was. Some of the meetings were very serious, and we took care of business, but afterwards, it was a fun time, where we had a really, really great time in the Wow Hall. It was kind of our place we had, and we had like numerous journal meetings. We used to have journal meetings like 4 times a year, and it was always very serious business and stuff like that.